You ever hear a story so twisted, so messed up that even the devil would stop mid-step and say, "Nah, that's too far"? Yeah, this is one of those. They thought they burned her alive, dragged her out to the woods like it was 1923, not 2023, laughing, drunk on their own hatred, dousing her in fuel like she was some kind of threat to their little kingdom of rot. They didn't know who she was. They didn't care. But that's the thing about fire. It doesn't just destroy. Sometimes it forges. Her name wasn't Tamika Brooks. Not anymore. That name got left in the ash. Now, folks in Clearwater Parish, Georgia, just call her Sheriff Hayes. But let me back up a sec, because you gotta understand what kind of place Clearwater was before the storm rolled in. This town, it wore racism like Sunday best. Confederate flags on porches, heritage not hate bumper stickers peeling off pickup trucks, and courthouse coffee mugs with slogans that'd make your blood curdle. Old-timers still called it God's country, where girls knew better than to braid their hair with pride and boys shot deer before algebra class. Then came the news. A new sheriff was coming. A black woman. A veteran. And not just any veteran, the kind that guarded generals in Kabul and disarmed IEDs with one steady hand. Her face hadn't hit the paper yet, but her name alone lit up the town like a lightning rod. Inside the police department, past a rusted soda machine and a wall of dusty plaques, two men leaned against cracked tile like statues. Officer Ronnie Kemp, 32 years in uniform and 3 DUIs deep in denial, growled under his breath, "If that monkey takes Buck's chair, we're done." His buddy, Cal Brooks, just nodded, eyes glued to an old black and white photo of their hero, Sheriff Buck Warren, rifle salute and all. Meanwhile, Sheriff Hayes, back then, still going by Elise, was stepping off a Greyhound 2 blocks from the square. No press, no welcoming committee. Just a duffel bag, a spine made of steel, and a silence sharper than a scalpel. She walked past the diner where white folks still sat in the front and black folks were welcome, just in the back. Walked right past the barber shop where they'd hang photos of honored officers whose hands weren't clean. And she walked into the department like she belonged, because she did. But the moment she touched that badge, Elise knew. The files weren't just dusty, they were buried. Missing women. All black. Ages 15 to 42. Different stories, same ending. Stamped case closed faster than you could say, sweep it under. It didn't sit right. And that's when she met Loretta. Quiet, maybe 60. Wore orthopedic shoes and kept to herself in the records room. Nobody paid her mind. But that woman? She'd been archiving injustice in silence for 20 damn years. "I wasn't supposed to keep these," she whispered, handing Elise a flash drive. "But I couldn't delete them. I just couldn't." Inside, surveillance footage, memos, logs scrubbed from the official servers, the kind of stuff that didn't just suggest corruption, it screamed it. And there it was. Patterns. Patterns so consistent, you'd think evil had a template. But it wasn't just paperwork. One night, Elise went out on a lead. A girl named Fallon, 19, last seen near Ash Hollow Road. The same road Riley Kemp had patrolled that night. Elise followed the trail, but someone followed her. 3 men, 1 torch, 1 plan. "You lost, sweetheart?" Riley slurred, breath hot with bourbon, badge gleaming like a threat. She didn't flinch. "You see a sign?" he asked. "I saw a pattern," she replied, calm as ever. That was enough. They cuffed her, drove her out past the lights, past the trees where the dirt stops having names and the air goes still. They didn't expect her to live. But here's the twist. She did. Because in a nearby shack there was one man who hadn't fully shut his eyes. Retired firefighter Jesse Moore. He'd smelled something wrong. Burnt leather, scorched hair, the kind of smell that don't belong in these woods. He followed the smoke. Found her. Barely breathing. Skin blistered, heartbeat stubborn. He didn't call it in. He just acted. While the sheriff's department was writing her obituary, Elise Hayes was being stitched back together in a safe house 3 counties away, off-grid, nameless, fire in her lungs, and justice in her blood. For weeks, she stayed gone, and in that time, she built her case. She rewatched the footage, found one frame where Riley's face was too close to the lens, smirking like the devil just gave him a medal. She used that frame to tear the whole rotten curtain down. She called a woman named Dana Coates, federal investigator, truth seeker, and bulletproof where it counts. Together, they cracked into the server no one dared touch. A digital tomb of deleted files, complaints, witnesses who were silenced, even a secret memo, signed by the mayor, authorizing scare tactics as a tradition. The names were all there: Riley Kemp, Cal Brooks, Judge Terrence Monroe, Mayor Hank Dawes. And that's when the second twist hit. Loretta, the quiet clerk, her nephew was a tech, a good one. He'd installed a camera in the off-site archive, hidden inside a smoke detector. The night Riley and Cal tried to erase everything, that little lens caught every second. Elise didn't just recover, she prepared. The night of the town's Founders Day parade, all lights, flags, and fried food, Elise walked back into the town square. Hair short, scar on her cheek, badge scorched but visible. She stepped onto the podium and said, "My name is Elise Hayes, and I am the legally appointed Sheriff of Clearwater Parish." Silence. Then the screen behind her lit up. First, shaky footage. Flashlights, woods, Elise's voice, Riley's smirk. Then, the gas, the match. People gasped. Some screamed. Others just froze. The parade ended in handcuffs. 3 officers, including Riley, arrested live by federal agents. Judge Monroe suspended within the hour. Mayor Dawes caught trying to flee, wearing a suit and a suitcase full of burner phones. You'd think that was the end, right? Not even close. Because Elise, she wasn't done. She took that sheriff's office and ripped out the rot, repainted it, rebuilt it, rehired only those who passed full background checks, invited Loretta to become head of internal review, opened every cold case. And 2 weeks later, in a hearing streamed nationwide, she looked that Senate panel dead in the eyes and said, "Justice isn't just a badge, it's what you do when the badge melts." Now, some folks in Clearwater still call it a setup or media bias. They whisper in barbershops about the old days like they miss them, but they whisper quieter now. The booth where Riley used to sit for free coffee, it stays empty. No one wants to sit in the echo of his silence. And Elise, she keeps showing up. Every day. Not because she forgives, but because she refuses to forget. And the last time I saw her standing in front of that new plaque, the one that reads, "Hold the line, never step back," she just smiled, slow and tired, and said, "They thought I was dead, but all they did was give me a reason." Now tell me, what would justice look like in your town if someone like Elise held the badge? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because silence protects no one. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that speak truth where silence used to live.